Good morning. This is Sheriff Doug Hebert. Today I'm going to do the first of what I hope is a regular series whereby I try to answer questions that are being posed by the general public. And it seemed like a good medium to be able to explain to as many people as possible at one time. The first of these we're going to discuss today is going to be about the jail. As many of you know, it has been a hot topic for 20 years, 15 years. And when I ran for office, one of the things that I put my name on the line promising is that I was going to build a new parish jail, which we have succeeded, as many of you are aware. This is the funny spaceship just west of Overland. We did go this design because of efficiency and some other reasons and cost to build. But what I really want to talk about is for the last 10-15 years prior to my election, the Allen Parish Police Jury was spending $447,000, sometimes more, but that's what they budgeted, to house parish inmates in Allen Parish. And some of that was spent paying other jails to hold prisoners for overflow. So after an election, I sat down with the police jury's jail committee, and we came up with a plan to build a jail. We put in some cost sharing mechanisms, and what that has resulted in is that the police jury, after they pay their note and after we reimburse them for the holding of illegal immigrants, which we have a contract to do, the total cost of the police jury the year ending 2017 was $269,000. Not $447, not $350, $269,000. Meaning that I saved the police jury, or we, the sheriff's office, saved the police jury a considerable amount of money. So any notion that the new sheriff's jail is the reason for some of the shortcomings being experienced at the police jury side is absolutely unequivocally untrue. We have worked hard to be not only a partner, but a good partner with the Allen Parish Police Jury. We want them to succeed in doing their endeavors, and we're certainly not going to be a part of anything that would hamper that. So again, anybody that says that the Allen Parish Jail is breaking the Allen Parish Police Jury simply just has bad information. And I would encourage you to talk to the police jurors in your district or the folks at the police jury office and verify this. It's not something I'm pulling out of the air. It is absolutely facts from their budgets. Secondly, I was at a funeral just the other day, and a good friend of mine, we were talking, and he said, Doug, he said, I just don't quite understand why y'all are building another jail. And he said, it's my opinion that, sheriff deputies ought to be out there patrolling, catching bad guys and keeping everybody safe. And I said, absolutely. And I said, let me explain it to you this way. When I first was elected, the last thing in my mind was getting into the jail business. Absolutely unequivocally. About a year into office, I attempted to pass a millage that would fund having a school resource officer in every school. And it fell short by less than 100 votes. And I could have said, well, I guess the public doesn't want that, which I don't believe is the truth. I do believe that every parent would love to have a police officer in their school, keeping them safe, deterring those that would come and do harm. They simply are overtaxed. We have a wonderful rural place to live in with few exceptions, not a lot of industry. They're good, hard-working folks and simply just could not afford those extra taxes, and that's what I believe. So instead of doing what seems to be all the rage in Washington and Baton Rouge legislatures and sit there and blame somebody else why we're not doing it, I decided I would come up with a way to do it. I had numerous meetings with immigration. We signed a contract with them to hold illegal detainees at a higher rate than what the state of Louisiana pays. And so that new building out there, which by the way will not cost the police jury a single cent, zero. When I say zero, zero is what it'll cost the police jury. When we finish that building, I anticipate somewhere between $750,000 and $1.5 million of extra revenue. What that means is that we will have the ability to put more people on patrol. It means that we have the real possibility of getting deputies in school. It means the possibility of adding on to our narcotics and detectives divisions. It means increasing fringe benefits and hopefully salaries for the good employees we have here, so we don't lose them to state police and the federal government or to the plants in Lake Charles. Because at the bottom, or at the end of the day, their first responsibility is their families. And I certainly would never fault an employee from going and doing the thing that helps him make his family's needs met. And so if I can find a way to do that where they can satisfy those needs and stay here and protect you, then it's my job to do it and my oath to do it. So the Allen Parish Sheriff's Office, when you wonder how come we're building these jails, it's not because I want to hold more prisoners. And quite frankly, it is a daunting task to be able to meet all the requirements. And you should know that the Allen Parish Sheriff's Office is the only, and I repeat, the only sheriff's office in the state of Louisiana that has met the rigorous standards that immigration sets forth to hold long-term prisoners. We're not one of a few. We are the only one that meet those standards. And I owe that to these wonderful folks back in the back that are putting in policies and doing the training and getting those folks to the point where they are on par or above even some of the federal folks. So the notion that this is anything other than a way for me to keep the promises that I made to you, the promises that others have made when they ran, to come out and say I'm going to run for sheriff and I'm going to have 40 deputies and I'm going to have 20 narcotics officers in a deputy in every school, while they may mean it, it'll be untrue. Because if you don't have the funds to pay those folks, it's not going to happen. So this big jail, this big monstrosity of a jail we're building behind us that costs you no money, no tax money, that costs the police jury no tax money, that creates a scenario of putting possibly $1 million, $1.5 million back into the Allen Parish Sheriff's Office budget so we can do more to protect you. That's why I did that, and for no other reason. And if they came in and struck Haynesville shale oil like they did up in North Louisiana, we wouldn't be having this discussion. We'd all have more money than we know what to do with. But that's not the case. And I can tell you, as long as I'm sheriff, then I will do whatever I've got to do, whether it's talking to our legislators in Washington, talking to our legislators in Baton Rouge, working with police juries, with the city councils, whatever I have to do to make sure that everything that can be done will be done to make sure you're safe. And we still have a ways to go, and we're going to keep getting there. We have a roadmap we've put out. It's not just some haphazard thing. We just decided to build a new jail. This has been a 5-year plan to get to the point we are now. And I hope that explains why we did it. It is a really unique situation that in the crazy times that we're in politics, and if regardless of what side you're on, you know that it's a complete and utter mess, and everybody's more interested in blaming somebody else for not doing something than they are about getting something done. That we were able to pull off a plan that not only serves our needs to put our bad people in jail, and if you watch Facebook or the news, you know we've been putting a lot of them in jail, and we're going to keep doing that. But to come up with a plan that not only serves our needs to hold all of our prisoners, that actually saves the police jury almost 40% of what they were paying in an old rundown jail that only held 42 people. And then also create a system where I can increase benefits to keep our good folks and really increase jobs to put more of our people in work so they're not having to move to other parishes and stay here and raise their families. It's something I'm absolutely proud of. So I hope that explains it, and if you have any questions about it, I encourage you to call up here at the office or get a hold of me. I'd be happy to explain it to you in more depth. But thank you for watching, and till next time, I'm Sheriff Doug Hebert, and have a great day.